What they say is true. You have to see the world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it is. Let's use the empty box that Tainari gave us since we already watched it. Oh, it smells amazing! And the box is a nice touch, too.
Are you already finished cooking? Smells delectable. I'm truly thankful whenever I can enjoy... Even though everything you mentioned was in Tainari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul immediately after smelling Spirit-born eel for the first time. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. And everyone at the academia, you should know that some researchers spend their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with...
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make Spirit-born eel primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Dendro Archon's power. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth. Naturally, anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a person of great understanding.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was she sensitive to the...
That was primarily due to her body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, she could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experience the sensory overload. Hence, the adverse react. Taking in any sense similar to the ingredients of Spirit-born eel would cause adverse effects. Not to worry, though. It appears you've already... Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon. But unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of Spirit-born eel should no longer
Well, that...
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life, I'd consider it worthwhile.
Whoa, you're really serious about this whole thing.
I am as a member of the Ritaoist Darshan at the Academia. My main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies. Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful, or that I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself. That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa! So knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous.
Of course I do. especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of... However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself. And they have the curious power.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being that...
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Huh.
Yes, well, to an extent. Only The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical. Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, those emotions could influence their dream. The fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the God of Wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter in your sleep. I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia, and went on to become a researcher. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, I suddenly saw a dream again. It was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recall the feeling. I suddenly felt like back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be, but I was free of fear. Maybe dreaming... Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City. They'll look at you as if...
So, do you have any thoughts about the things she saw when she connected with Irminsul?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul itself. World forget me. What could the... If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life, I might have some more answers for you. If you two are ever in the area again, please, there's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides...
Now that we know Hypatia is alright, and had the chance to ask her some questions, Paimon thinks it's about time to head back to Gandharvaville.
Think about it, Tainari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting... As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Ghulam. Let's at least listen to Tainari's reason for declining. We're here to invite him to the Academia, not to cause a scene.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that you came here in person, but I'm afraid I must still decline your invitation. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone like me?
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned sage of the Immorta, after all. So now I've come here in his stead.
I see. Huh. And I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tainari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kage?
You'll know, once you've arrived in Sumeru City, that is.
And how long will I be required to stay?
There's no definite answer as of now.
Do you mean to tell me that despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Tainari, but you...
So be it. Come, Gulam, we're leaving.
Tainari, what was that all about?
It's nothing. Some people from the academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound. She answered a bunch of questions.
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer. I assume you will be heading to Sumeru City, correct?
That's right. We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice. Do you have any idea?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any advice for you there.
Well, do you at least know anyone we can try asking?
Let me think. My trips to Sumeru City have been fairly short. How about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. He's from the Amurta Darshan and is adept at gathering information. Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but...
Oh? What is it?
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukadevata. Some say that this very item is the basis of Sumeru's reputation as the City of Wisdom. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise, so I'll leave it to them to show you how to use it.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! Oh, that's right! Tainari, we have something important to say to Kale before we leave.
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. Last I saw her, she was taking the path towards the North Crossing. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you off.
Thanks, Tainari. All right, let's go!
Farewell.
I've been waiting for you. Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Sumeru City.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I want to be a forest ranger after all. It's up to... I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat me as a normal friend. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be genuine with one another.
There's no need to apologize, Kale. We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be your... We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Oh? What is it?
It's my recipe for pita pockets. I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember? My handwriting is a little, messy, so...
Yay! Thanks, Kale. Now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas whenever and...
I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharvaville. Well then, I, trainee Forest Ranger Kale, bid you both farewell. Please visit Gandharvaville again. The Rangers will always be ready to assist you here.
I see everything. entered the city, something on their heads lit up.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru. Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's our beloved Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's lasting legacy. A treasure trove of After centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, the Academia created one of its most ingenious inventions. As long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need. I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such.
Oh, so this is the thing that Tainari was telling us about. It sounds...
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was recently changed, and now all travelers are issued one. Here are your Akasha terminals. Please handle them with care.
It kind of looks...
To activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following phrase to yourself. May the mighty God bless us.
Oh! Since this little doodad lets you access knowledge, maybe we can use it to find a way to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's give it a try. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom. Whoa! Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing. It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we want to know, and bam! You get it!
Exactly. That is the power of the... And with that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Okay, now that we're in, we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let Paimon try. 500 years ago, the sages found a newly born deity from within some scorched ruins. The deity now resides in the sanctuary of Suristana. Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Huh? Oh, come on! Focusing on this question feels like when you have something you're... Paimon's brain is exhausted. Oh, smart idea! But what are you going to ask it? You too? Well, glad it's not just Paimon. Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary-eyed all of a sudden. It feels like the people of... Huh. Could it be because we're Outlanders and we've only just... Well, seems no matter which way we try, we can't find anything that'll lead us to Lesser Lord Kusanali. Guess our only choice now is he's from Sumeru and even has a position in the Academia. Maybe he'll be able to access... Let's see. Tainari wrote an address of a... Maybe he's at home.
I can't let Farouk see me the next time I make a move.
Hello, are you Rohawi?
Yes, that's me.
Great! You see, Tighnari...
What? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the data didn't produce...
Here, this is a letter from Tighnari...
Oh, let me see. Oh! Ooh, what a relief. Seems even Tighnari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information.
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali.
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself? This isn't exactly my area of expertise, but let me... Sorry, the Akasha...
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that?
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the Sanctuary of Sorasthana or made a public appearance.
Didn't expect her to be such a mysterious figure.
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain visitors, which would explain the lack of information.
But...
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. You could certainly and besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see Lesser Lord Kusanali may not... In this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha, and things you can never accomplish. Knowing when... Take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years. But Tighnari? That guy can...
Okay. Thanks for your...
Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academia or relations between the 6 great sages, come find me. Hey, come on. This is a survival skill at the academia.
Oh, Paimon's expectations were pretty low, so what do we do now? Even if we want to talk to someone, we don't know anybody here. Huh? Like who? Oh, you're right! Catherine! The Adventurers Guild has its own...
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Oh, Catherine! We need your help...
Understood. The Adventurers Guild is always...
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do...
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Archon. I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the account.
Aww, another dead end. Well...
Please do not worry. I may know of someone who can help. In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information. Rather, there are numerous active mercenary groups collectively known as the Eremites. They take on various contracts and work all across Sumeru, so they naturally accrue intelligence. An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in charge of Sumeru City's defenses. Not only are they the oldest brigade, but they are responsible for managing and coordinating the affairs of all other mercenaries.
Corps of 30? What a weird name.
Supposedly, they are named as such because their ranks numbered 30 at their inception. Asfant, an advisor with the Corps of 30, maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild. Though he's already retired, he and his words carry great weight with him. If you'd like to get in contact with him, you can find him at the Corps of 30's headquarters, the Citadel of Rexar. You're welcome. I wish you two the best of luck. We look forward to your exploits in Sumeru.
All right, off to the Citadel of Rexar we go!
Welcome. The Adventurers Guild told me to expect you two.
It's nice to meet you, Osfond. We'd like to ask you about something.
I see. So, Catherine's the one who sent you this way. Ha! It's true that the Eremites' network is vast, but even I can't help...
Wait!
Afraid so. The Eremites aren't terribly religious, so we don't know much about divinities. As far as the Akasha goes, we originally came from the desert. The gods there died off long ago. Since those days, we've used our own two hands. It isn't just us, though. If you ask me, I think most in Sumeru aren't interested.
Oh? Why's that?
Just take the Academia, for example. They're the ones who truly rule Sumeru. Although they believe in gods, most of them only care for the late Greater Lord Rugurtavara. In their eyes, she was the one who founded Sumeru and gifted us with the Akasha. Lesser Lord Kusanali just happened. Because of the Academia's influence, most citizens are more familiar with Greater Lord Rugurtavara. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali never makes an appearance, and the Academia never announces anything about her, as far as the people of Sumeru are concerned.
Really? Aw. After hearing all of that...
Ha! But who knows? We're all just guessing when it comes down to it. Besides, I'm sure the...
All right, well...
No problem. Always happy to help out the
Seems Osfond was right about most people's attitudes here. Not only are they not interested in the Dendro Archon, they even say stuff like, if the Akasha doesn't think I should know, then I don't need to know about it. We've been asking for information non-stop ever since we got to Sumeru. But the harder we try, the more helpless everything seems. Isn't there at least one person in this entire city who cares about Lesser Lord...
Oh, you two are interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh?
From the sound of it, you two are Outlanders who recently arrived here. You've been asking around for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Dunyarzad, one of Lesser Lord Kusanali's...
Whoa, really? Then...
I'm afraid I can't help you with that. But your conversation earlier did happen to remind me of a legend about the Dendro Archon. Sure. It goes like this. Long, long ago, there was a man who heard a prophecy. It predicted that a great calamity was about to befall him. Panicked by what he heard, the man sought out the Dendro Archon in hopes that she would bless him with the wisdom to help him escape his predicament. The man journeyed across deserts and through rainforests and experienced tribulations of every kind. However, in despair, he thought, alas, the Archon has abandoned me. He then had no choice but to sorrowfully resign to his fate.
Okay.
And then, the calamity came. But to his own surprise, the man felt somehow emboldened by the trials of his journey. At that moment, a bird perched upon his shoulder. This bird was, in fact, an avatar of the Dendro Archon. Oh, Archon Seeker, do you now understand? She and her wisdom have along your journey, we were in every flower and blade of grass, every ray of sparkling sun, and every breath of dancing wind. So long as you continue to think and ponder, we'll be wherever you go.
Yeah, thanks for the story! Paimon feels all warm and fuzzy inside.
In a way. It seems like this story is all...
Dunyarzad, since you worship Lesser Lord Kusanali, can you tell us anything else about her?
Of course. So did you two know that, I'm terribly sorry, but it seems something's come up now. Let's chat another day.
Hey, wait! What the heck just happened? It looks like they're searching for someone. Dunyarzad was acting super nervous just now. You think... this stinks! We finally managed to find a lead about Lesser Lord Kusanali! We can... Let's see if we can get rid of them. Then we can catch up with
Hey, have you two seen a brown-haired girl wearing a purple top and a long blue dress? We're looking for her.
Did she have bandages wrapped around her wrist?
Yes, that's her. Did you see which direction
Yeah, she went that way.
Quick, after her!
That should keep him busy for a while. Let's hurry and find him. There you are, Dunyarzad. We thought you might have been long gone.
Oh, it's you two. Oh, you startled me there.
You can relax now. We threw those people.
Really? Thank you so much. Uh-oh. Looks like there are some coming this way.
Huh? More of them? Then what are we standing here for?
No, wait, my body isn't in the best shape. Okay, sounds good. There's a tavern on the other side of the port we can go to.
All right, let's move out. Stay behind us. We'll keep an eye out for anyone looking for you.
We made it. Oh, they shouldn't be able to find us now. Wait! Stand down, Dia!
My lady, who are these two?
They're travelers that I met on the street just a moment ago. They happen to notice...
I see. In that case, you two should scramble.
Wait a sec! Who the heck are you?
I'm Miss Dunyarzad's bodyguard, here to see that she returns home safe and sound. My lady, let's get going. You've been gone for so long that your parents...
And if
it'd be easier for the both of us if you cooperated. But if you insist on not going, then I'll have to carry you like...
Hey! Dunyarzad already said she doesn't want to go back. Why are you still pushing her?
Stay out of this. You don't Sorry, my lady. Even though I'm your bodyguard, your parents are my employers. I have to answer to them.
How much?
Wait, what?
How much more do I have to pay you to become your employer? So you never listen to my parents ever again. Double? A triple? Give me some...
My lady, this isn't about Mora. I don't know what you think of us Eremites, but let me say this. I like Mora, but I'll never go against my principles. That's why I'm here looking for you. Sure, it's an order from my employer, but my conscience was also telling me, and knowing your health, carelessly running around like this is gonna hurt ya. For the sake of those who love you, don't...
No, you're wrong. I'm aware of my limits, and I know what I'm doing. Honestly, the only people... And they know perfectly well that it makes no difference if I'm at home or not. I still won't accept reality. And every time I bring this up, they just change the subject. Dia, you've been living with us a long... Dia, I know it hasn't been easy for Mother and Father, and I'm grateful for everything they've done for me. But there's someone else in this world I'm also grateful to, because she saved me. The love I have for her is the same I have for my parents. This is my life and my last chance. So I want to do something meaningful.
My lady, are you sure what you're doing now is meaningful?
Yes, I'm sure. At least...
Fine. I won't ask you to return home anymore. But let me make something very clear. I'm only doing this because I respect your determination.
Thank you, Dia. Sorry for being so rude just now. my nerves were acting up. And I even brought up your...
Don't worry about it, my lady. I did say that I like Mora. Besides, that's our next topic of conversation. Today's little excursion caused such a ruckus that every single bodyguard at the estate was deployed. It wouldn't be easy to hide things since this definitely won't be your last escapade. Here's a little tip. You should at least make it look like your room and things are still in order when you leave. Also, you'll need someone to cover you for when you're out and about. So, I'll let you hire me, my lady. This way, everyone wins. As for the pay, let's say half of what your father pays me.
Okay, deal.
Yay! Looks like they've reached an understanding.
I'm fine, really. I just feel a little tired now that things have calmed down.
My lady, stop trying to look tough. We're already in a tavern, so let's rest up and grab some...
I'm sorry for worrying you two. If you don't mind, I'd like...
Sure! After you rest up, we want to hear more about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ha! Well, if it isn't Dia. Haven't seen you in nearly half a year. Word on the street is that you're a bodyguard for the Homayani family now. Ha! Don't...
you get used to it. How about a menu over here?
You got it. Huh? Isn't this little Miss Homayani herself? We don't get to serve personages like you very often.
Thank you, sir, but there's no need. I don't have a lot of Mora on me, and but please bring these two the best food you have. They're my new friends, so I want to be a good host for them.
Yeah, we're already super grateful for everything you told us about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
How about our charcoal-baked agelenach cakes? They're our signature snack, and they run cheap. Look, other customers over there are eating some now.
They look kind of burnt and dry. Paimon will pass. Hey, come on! Paimon? Dunyarzad, we asked a lot of people when we first arrived, and almost nobody was interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali. So, what made you want to follow her?
Well, remember when you asked me if I knew how to meet the Dendro Archon? Even though I don't know how, I think I've actually seen her.
Huh?
Yes, it was when I was a child. At the time, my illness had kept me bedridden for the better part of a year. I was stuck inside and couldn't make any friends, and my parents did their best to find treatments for me. But even then, the Akasha didn't have any helpful information. My younger self no longer had any hopes or dreams. One flare-up was so bad that I was in a semi-conscious state for several days. Then one night, I woke up alone in my room. I was terrified. My body was paralyzed. Even if I cried, there was, at that moment, an ethereal voice spoke in my mind.
Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have...
Who are you?
How do I explain this? You might not be able to understand, but...
Really?
Of course. I know that you're scared of thunder, that you hate taking medicine every morning, and that you love counting the petals.
Wow, you really do know everything.
Dunyarzad, is there...
What? Not really.
Huh? But aren't you a child? All children have wishes.
But can you make...
Oh...
Then, can you be... After that, the voice said, okay. Although my body was suffering during those days, that voice encouraged me and told me many wondrous things. Beyond my window was the flourishing Sumeru city. Beyond the city was a lush rainforest. And beyond that was the wall of Samiel, deserts, and all of Teyvat. Once I finally made it through that bout of illness, I couldn't hear that voice anymore. I told my mother about it, but I know that that voice wasn't a figment of my imagination. Before that, I had never heard of Teyvat. Yes, for sure. If it weren't for that voice, I would have never grown curious about the outside world, nor would I have learned how to read and enjoy so many books. That voice sparked a desire for wisdom. It had to have been the Dendro Archon. I've been hoping for a chance to repay her kindness. In fact, I was running around today to help prepare the Sub-Zerus festival for her.
What's the Sub-Zerus festival?
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday, which was the day that she was found by the sages. It's actually an old holiday that originally celebrated Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthday. When she passed away, the holiday eventually became a celebration of the Lesser Lord's birthday. I heard everyone was overjoyed when they welcomed her back to Sumeru. In those days, the festival was a huge deal. But because of the Academia's influence, people have gradually lost interest in the festival. The Academia actively participates in Sumeru's many holidays dedicated to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But when it comes to the Sub-Zerus festival, forget any funding. They practically act. Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death, so they're reluctant to celebrate it.
Aww.
It is. It's absolutely sure the Greater Lord founded Sumeru, but hasn't Lesser Lord Kusanali been the one quietly protecting us for the past few hundred years?
Just remember that we're still out in public. Don't get...
I know that people over by the Grand Bazaar still hold the Sub-Zerus festival to this day. But I hadn't met any of them before, so I was never able to contribute. But recently, I made a friend there who also follows Lesser Lord Kusanali. I gave her my savings because I want her to throw a wonderful festival this year. That's the least I could do for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Hold on, my lady. Does this friend happen to be Nilou, the one who sends flowers to the estate?
Yes, that's her.
I saw her leaving the other day with a nervous look on her face. It seemed like she was hiding something in her arms. Did you?
Yes. Initially, I didn't have much Mora prepared, so I had Nilou sell one of my skirts. I've agreed with Nilou to meet up at the Grand Bazaar today, and see how things are coming along. Dia, would you accompany me?
Sure. That's quite the trip, though.
No, that would be too much. Even for you.
You might as well just accept the lift. If I let you walk, who knows how long it'll take us. And if anything happens to you, then I'd really never hear the end of it from your father.
But of course. Nilou will be thrilled to hear there are more people interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Everything.
Sorry I'm late, Nilou.
Oh, Dunyarzad.
It was taking you so long that I assumed you got trapped at home. Uh-oh. But if Dia's here, that means you got caught, right?
You could say that, but everything worked out. She's on our side now.
Oh. And who are these two?
Oh, meet the Traveler and Paimon, my two newest friends. They're visitors who just arrived at Sumeru City, and are—
So you're followers from another land? That's wonderful. You two absolutely mustn't miss the Sub-Zerus. By the way, Dunyarzad, we've already started decorating the Grand Bazaar. It looks spectacular.
You're very welcome. It's the only thing I could do. Do you still have enough Mora?
Probably? But don't sweat it. We've already finished renovating the stage.
Wow! This place is amazing!
Not bad. Last time I was here, the stairs were full of holes.
The stairs were nothing. A little while ago, we discovered that the tree above the stage had a huge chunk of bark ready to fall off. Mr. Zubair was worried sick. We reported it to the academia many times, but they never sent anyone to deal with it. We didn't want anything bad happening, so we were going to cancel all the
Oh, probably because it was the theater asking.
The academia looks down on performers like us. They probably think it would be best if the theater closed down completely. We can't let that happen, though. Not only would everyone involved in the theater go hungry, but then we wouldn't be able to hold the Sub-Zerus festival anymore. Thank the Dendro Archon for Dunyarzad. With the Mora she gave us, we hired someone to patch up the tree, and we also gave the stage a much-needed makeover. The stage is going to be even prettier when it's festival time. I can't wait.
And I can't wait to see you on the stage. You've been practicing so long already. It's almost time for your dream to become reality.
It's our dream.
Nilu, what are you gonna be doing at the festival?
She'll be dancing the dance of Sub-Zerus, the most important performance at the
Dunyarzad, have you told them the origin of this
I only told them about the Greater Lord and Lesser Lord so far.
Okay. Then I'll tell you two about, according to legend, the Sub-Zerus festival was originally the Goddess of Flowers' birthday celebration for the Greater Lord. A long, long time ago, on one of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthdays, her friends threw her a celebratory banquet. Some of the gods got drunk. One started playing music, and the Greater Lord started singing, so the Goddess of Flowers began to dance. As she danced upon the grass, countless beautiful Parisaras began. Those brilliant purple flowers became her dazzling stage. All the gods clamored, "Oh, if only time could stop at this very moment." Huh? Really? Oh, you probably mean because all the gods, although they aren't around anymore, they're preserved in our tradition of dance. This outfit I'm wearing is apparently based on how the Goddess of Flowers looked. Though we're just tiny people compared to the Divine, we still have to do our best to make sure that the birthday girl feels loved on her special day.
Nilu, you of all people will definitely be able to convey our well wishes to the Dendro Archon. I also noticed that you went the extra mile and scattered Parisaras around the stage.
They symbolize the Goddess of Flowers, after all. It's just a shame that all the real Parisaras went extinct after her.
Yeah. The Greater Lord brought forth Parisaras in memory of the Goddess of Flowers, but she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful purple.
Thinking about the Goddess of Flowers dance makes me wish I could have seen it. If my stage were anything like that, I'd be thrilled if I had just So, Traveler and Paimon?
All of Lesser Lord Kusanali's followers will be there for her birthday. It'll be a good opportunity for you to learn more about her.
Ooh, Paimon thinks that's a great idea! Of course Paimon wants to watch. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive.
So how about we all attend the Sub-Zerus festival together?
Dunyarzad, Let me show you which stage decorations we've picked out so far. Traveler and Paimon, if everyone at the Grand Bazaar loves Lesser Lord Kusanali, and we're all looking forward to the Sabzeruz festival.
In that case, we'll take a look around.
Whoa! What's with your yellow hair? And why do your clothes look so funny? Did you know that the Sabzeruz festival is about to happen? There'll be loads of fun things to do at the festival.
Revamping the stage for the festival couldn't have been easy, that's for sure. I bet this year's festival... I don't know much about the Grand Bazaar, but I do know that the residents here have a penchant for song and dance. Two things that the academia doesn't particularly... Oh, and the perfume sold around here is a lot better than what you'll find elsewhere. The fragrances are longer lasting and they're gentler on your skin and... I mean, that's, what I...
Things are really shaping up, and there's a buzz around the festival this year. We're expecting people from all over to come by. Don't be fooled into thinking that Sumeru City has the best of everything. Some festival snacks are only offered here in the Grand... And when it comes to musicians, dancers, or singers, the Grand Bazaar's got the best of the best. Sure, those folks at the...
Dancing at the Sabzeruz festival. As a child, I even asked my grandmother why we performed the dance for the Lesser Lord when it was original. My grandmother said that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is a beloved deity and honored by all. And Lesser Lord Kusanali is too. If the goddess of flowers ever knew Lesser Lord Kusanali, then she would certainly have wished to be her friend. The Sabzeruz festival has been losing its appeal over the years. That is, until a wealthy benefactor stepped in this year and brought the festival back to life.
Milu, your outfit looks amazing.
I thought I'd add a little extra pizzazz to my dress for the festival.
Wow, did you sew all that yourself?
Uh-huh. Sewing is a fundamental skill for everyone in the theater company because we make all our own costumes. Did you know that Mr. Zubair not... I've noticed that you can't keep your eyes off that crown over there. Of course. The legends say that the goddess of flowers had beautiful horns on her head, so this crown was made to reflect that. Dunyarzad, you look absolute...
Hey! Is that who Paimon thinks it is? It looks like... Catherine! Come to think of it, Paimon's only ever seen her behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild. This is the first time we've ever seen her taking a break. Hey, Catherine!
Oh, hey! It's the Traveler and...
Whoa! Break time Catherine sure sounds a lot less formal than usual. Paimon was still waiting for her to say Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Sure. Standing behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild doesn't require... But saying and doing the same old things over and over again can get pretty monotonous. Like watching the same Fontaine movie day after day. But take you two, for example. You travel across Tevat to enrich your lives and gain new...
Well, we enjoy traveling across Tevat and all that, but we're mainly looking for clues.
Yes, you should keep searching. Sometimes the answers we're looking for aren't necessarily...
Haven't we heard someone say something pretty similar recently?
No, not particularly. I guess you could say that I'm loving the recent atmosphere here. If festivals bring happiness to everyone, then... It looks...
Alright, we'll see you next time at the Adventurers Guild. Oh, by the way, thanks for connecting us with the Eremites. We've already made...
I'm sure you two will get along well with the people here. You've already been blessed by the element of Dendro, after all.
There's something real...
Hey, traveler.
Oh, hey, Dia.
I've got something to tell ya. My lady knows you're looking for ways to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali, and she's been trying to come up with a way to help you. Well...
Are you serious?
It might not necessarily pan out, so don't get your hopes up too much. I'll need to take you two somewhere and ask someone. My lady is feeling a little worn out at the moment. Nilu's found a place for her to rest. After I take my lady home, let's meet...
Sounds like a... Let's head over to the Citadel of Rexar and wait for Dia.
Sorry, I'm late. It took some convincing for the master and mistress to believe that Miss Dunyarzad was only... Anyway, I guess I should be thanking you. I haven't seen Miss Dunyarzad that happy in a long time. If it wasn't for you...
You sure sound a whole lot nicer than when we first met, Dia. Who would have thought you had such a soft spot for Dunyarzad?
It's called being a professional. I'm a bodyguard, and I...
Look, Dia's blush.
Listen, I don't expect to be working for Miss Dunyarzad very long, but I hope to finish things on a positive note if possible. Let's cut the chit-chat and head into the Citadel. We'll see if the person I know has a way for you two to meet with the Lesser Lord. Oh, hey, Chief.
Ha, Dia! What are you doing here? And well, didn't expect to see you.
I take it you all know each...
We met this morning after the Adventurers Guild pointed us to Ozfa...
No kidding. Huh. So, where's Ruksha? I thought I'd help these two out by asking about the theft. Anything you can tell him?
Ruksha's gone over to the Academia. The Grand Sage recently ordered Sumeru City to begin bolstering its defenses, so people from all over have been called back to the city. Since you've already mentioned the theft, I suppose I might as well...
Appreciate it, Chief.
Theft?
Just recently, the Academia lost something, and there's a chance the item is connected with the Dendro Archon. This case might just somehow help you.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. But if you ask me, the case is more about the Let me fill you in. The Academia recently sent a convoy to pick up an important package from Aru village. Word got out, and the Grand Sage took the whole matter very seriously. Not only did he dispatch the Matra, but also enlisted our help in the search for leads. All we know so far is that whatever was stolen is currently in port.
You two have heard of Port Ormos, haven't you? It's the largest commercial port in all of Sumeru. You can travel there by leaving Sumeru City and heading south along the river. The Academia's grip isn't long enough to reach all the way to Port Ormos, so the city's a little more laid back, meaning the population's also...
Apparently what was lost has a great deal to do with the Akasha, knowledge, and even the gods. I'm afraid I don't have any other details for you. If you're interested, maybe you could head to Port Ormos and ask around yourselves. If you want my advice, try...
Are you serious, Chief? All the Academia students are in Sumeru City, you know. Why should they pretend to be...
If you're also interested...
Count me out. I've got plenty of work to do here for the Homayani family. And take it from me, if you two really do decide to visit Port Ormos, you'd best watch your backs. There are even some extremists who go around shouting slogans like, "Retake Sumeru for King Deshret." Word is that more and more are joining their movement. They're becoming a real headache for Chief and the others.
You bet they are. King Dishret's been dead for thousands of years. Now they start spreading rumors.
Not everyone's like you, Chief. Even the desert natives who abandoned their homes in the wilderness still wish to have a god of their... Well, traveler...
Thanks, Dia! And you too, Osfum! Since we've gathered all we could for the moment in Sumeru City, let's head to Port Ormos and see what we can find next!
Miss Dunyarzad is looking forward to seeing you both at the Sub-Zerus Festival, so be sure to get yourselves back here in time for that. Good. Then we'll see you both at the Sub-Zerus Festival.
Come and have a good look yourself. Traditional spices of the highest quality, made with pride.
You've got a deal. I can't thank you enough for always looking after my...
Believe me, I'm not making this up. Several Eremite mercenary groups are nearly in open conflict, but does the core of 30 care? And that's not all. Did you know that...
Wow! Talk about hurly-burly! This place is busy! seem to shake the feeling that there's also danger lurking in these crowds. Ooh. Let's get up. We know that whatever the Academia lost is related to the gods. But other than that, Osfa told us to try posing as Academia students while asking around. Paimon checked the Akasha on the way here, and the Academia doesn't seem to have any. Paimon doesn't get it. Won't we look even more suspicious going around saying we're Academia students and asking about the stolen item? Well, given all the people that come through here every day, if there's any information to be found, Paimon bets we could find it in the market. Let's ask around and see what we come up with.
Welcome. Welcome.
Hi there. We would like to ask you a question. Do students from the...
Of course. Especially around this time of year. Students from Sumeru City that are about to graduate often come to Port. Many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the academia, let alone graduate. But those who finish their studies and go on to become full-time researchers at the academia have it even harder. Sure, we may not be Sumeru City, but Port Ormos offers beautiful scenery and a stress-free environment. Some even say it's good luck to come to Port Ormos, so students and researchers come flocking here when things get to be too much at the academia. You see over there? Those are students from the academia. They've been looking worried and miserable ever since they got here a few days. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better. So long as the Akasha teaches us what we...
Those students seem to be discussing something. Let's see if we can...
It's no good. I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful. Not to mention that a bunch of scary-looking Eremite mercenaries have been posted along the streets now.
There's been a lot of fighting between the different Eremite factions in Port Ormos. If we choose to move on our own, then it would be wise to steer clear of them. Especially the group that's constantly shouting some stuff about King Deshret and some resurrection. I've even heard that the Citadel of Regzar is starting to get fed up with them. What was that group called again? Ein something or other?
They're called Ein El Ahmar. Today, I heard that the thing we're after might be in their possession at the moment.
Wait, come again?
Don't you see? Many of the Eremites in Port Ormos deal with trading this kind. They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the academia. It's because the kind of goods that students are looking for aren't the kind of goods that Eremites are after. As long as they know you're a student, then deals can be... I've heard that Ein El Ahmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern. Supposedly, if you're willing to part with 500,000 Mora, they'll give you info on anything.
Wait, did you say 500,000? If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to buy what we're looking for? I guess we might as well give up on trying to...
I wouldn't worry too much. Our field of research is very niche. Who else could possibly be after that kind of shady knowledge? I bet it's practically worthless to anyone aside from us.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Then the only thing left for us now is to find a way in. Why don't we all just pool our money together and pay for the information?
Whoa! Did you hear that? A niche field of research and shady knowledge? It all sounds pretty suspicious to Paimon. So, what's our plan? Wait, didn't you hear what they just said? Buying information is going to cost us 500,000 Mora! Have you lost your mind? Oh, all right. Paimon never thought she'd agree to parting with that kind of Mora.
Just ask the cats how fresh my fish is.
place we heard those students talking about. Let's find a seat somewhere and see if we can spot the group.
Oh, you've arrived. Please, take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Huh! Once we reclaim the power of King Deshret, they'll be the first that the boss punishes.
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion. They've also amassed a significant amount of Mora this time.
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick Mora?
Yeah, with boss's fervent devotion, he'll be able to use this power to bring...
Huh. All these guys talk about is King Deshret, so they're probably...
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when King Deshret exacts vengeance on Sumeru, and all of them shall be punished.
Yeah, Paimon was wondering what they meant too. We should ask about that if we get the...
Huh? Who are you? What do you want? A traveler?
Now's probably not the time to talk about that. Didn't the students say Eremites are wary of outsiders?
A student? What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port Ormos? Ah, well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it?
Paimon can't stand to see so much more go.
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, that's right! We heard you mention King Deshret just now. We're actually interested to know more because...
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora, I guess... As you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers of King Deshret. Years ago, King Deshret founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization, far beyond anything you'll see in present-day Sumeru. King Deshret was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted. She even stripped him of his title, God of Wisdom.
So, you?
Greater Lord Ruka Devata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed King Deshret's civilization, and our ancestors were forced to flee to this land where we were made to suffer the tyranny of our enemies. Furthermore, she conspired with the Academia to cover up the truth of her actions, and create the merciful and benevolent facade for which she is now known. Ugh, just thinking about it sickens me. But the story doesn't end there, oh no. King Deshret isn't truly dead. The voice of the Oracle has been... Mark my words, our god shall return. And when that day comes, all followers of the traitor and all the desert dwellers who have forgotten their true god will suffer If what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of King Deshret. I don't have anything to say to you Academia people about that. I think this conversation has reached...
Not just yet. This man is a fraud.
Huh?
You again? Deranged Academia lunatic.
Yes, it's me again. I already warned you that if you weren't willing to sit and discuss things with me, I'd take measures to make things uncomfortable for... Listen to me. That address he gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a merchant waiting for you there. This group has been boasting all around that they can provide information on a certain item as a means of luring people into their... Once you show up, they keep up the act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item. Then they use that to squeeze you for all the Mora you're worth.
Hey! Shut it, Al-Haytham! What do you...
I told you the other day. I wish to discuss my...
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear that he won't...
Yes, and in no uncertain terms. But that was then.
I'm warning you. Don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people from the Academia because it just complicates things. For a lunatic...
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, even the Archons used war to negotiate. If, on the other hand, we can't agree on any means of negotiation at all, then I'm afraid my next course I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, which I know you value above all else. I am quite confident that if I began to take such action, your boss would willingly approach me himself. However, I fear that also, a word of advice. I suggest you tell your boss exactly what happened here today. Otherwise,
what did...
Consider this. Have I ever failed to follow through on my word?
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 mora to them.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. This wouldn't happen to be because they're all busy spreading the word to the students, would it? Someone who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Whoa, did you see that? He not only got us our Mora back, plus he seems to know a lot about what's going on around here. Let's catch up with him and ask some questions.